Right now on Morning News Now, a celebration turned tragic. A community and all of Canada in mourning after a car plowed into a crowd at a Filipino festival in Vancouver.
Oh my God! Oh my God! My God!
Now at least 11 people are dead, dozens more injured, and a suspect facing multiple murder charges.
That was about celebrating community, culture, and then as people were leaving, ended in tragedy, and it's just damn.
We'll have the latest as the investigation unfolds. Also this morning, casting doubt, President Trump questioning Russian President Vladimir Putin's efforts to end the war in Ukraine. Meanwhile, the arrest of a Milwaukee judge renewing the fight over immigration rights in America. And more Americans growing disappointed with the president as he nears the 100th day of his second term. We have team coverage. Also developing this morning, tens of millions of people still at risk from a series of severe storms wreaking havoc in several states from the south to the Midwest. We are tracking the conditions, the dangers, and what to expect where you live. And a potential breakthrough bringing hope to millions of cancer patients. The new form of treatment that could be an alternative to surgery or chemo. Big deal.
That development making a lot of headlines this weekend. Good to have you with us on a Monday morning. I'm Joe Fryer.
And I'm Savannah Sellers. Thanks so much for starting your week with us. We are going to begin this hour with the latest on that deadly attack in Vancouver. At least 11 people are dead and dozens were injured after a car drove straight into a crowd at a block party celebrating Filipino culture Saturday.
A 30-year-old man has been charged with multiple counts of murder. Police say he drove at high speed into a crowd. Once the SUV came to a halt, the driver was captured by bystanders and turned over to police. NBC News correspondent Maya Eaglin joins us now with the very latest on this story. Good to have you with us. So just walk us through more about what happened and how the community's responding.
Yeah, last night, actually, the community gathered for a vigil to remember the 11 victims who died in this accident. It happened Saturday, 8 p.m. local time in Vancouver. Authorities say an SUV plowed through this really busy street. It was a Filipino cultural festival called Lapu-Lapu Day. Lapu-Lapu was an indigenous leader that many people in the Filipino community consider a national hero for kind of fighting against colonizers there. So this was a pedestrian-only streetway for this festival. It was completely closed off to traffic. There were food trucks on both sides. It was a really chaotic scene. Let's take a listen to Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney and his thoughts as this tragedy unfolded.
Families lost a sister, a brother, a mother, a father, a son, or a daughter. Those families are living every family's nightmare. And to them and to the many others who were injured, to the Filipino-Canadian community, and to everyone in the broader Lower Mainland, Vancouver, I would like to offer my deepest condolences and my wishes for strength and compassion in this tragic time.
Yeah, so 11 people died, dozens injured, and police say those numbers could continue growing with the severity of the injuries we're dealing with here.
As we just mentioned, police have a suspect in custody. What do we know at this point, and any word on motive? Is it terrorism? Are authorities believing that?
Yeah, so they were able to identify 30-year-old Kai G. Adam. He's being charged with 8 counts of second-degree murder. Police are saying he acted alone, but that this is not an act of terrorism. They say that it was not politically, racially motivated. And they've alluded to it being more of a mental health related incident here. They say that they've had several incidences involving this suspect several times and that he acted alone. And yeah, as you mentioned, Savannah, the crowd actually detained him first before police got to him.
You mentioned this pedestrian walkway was totally closed off. Obviously, something went wrong here. Are city officials in Vancouver saying they're going to make changes for similar events moving forward?
So they say that they stand by their security risk assessment here. They say before every festival, before protest, that they kind of scan social media. They address the situation. And this is what they're describing as kind of an unpredictable one-off, really extreme tragedy that they could not have predicted. Going forward, they say they're going to review the plan that they had in the risk assessment. And if anything could have been done to prevent this, maybe change their plans moving forward.
All right. Maya Eaglin. Maya, thank you so much.
Thanks, Maya. Well, an investigation is underway this morning into a deadly boat crash that happened overnight off Florida's west coast. Authorities are calling the incident a hit and run. According to the city of Clearwater, a ferry carrying 45 people was struck by a boat which then fled. At least one passenger died and a number of others were injured, some seriously. The city said that the fleeing boat has been identified and that the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission will take the lead on the investigation with help from the U.S. Coast Guard.
President Trump is calling on Russia to stop its attacks on Ukraine. He spoke a day after his meeting with Ukraine's President Zelensky on the sidelines of the Pope's funeral, saying he was disappointed by Russia's recent missile attacks. The U.S. is trying to revive peace talks between both countries, but Secretary of State Marco Rubio told Meet the Press moderator Kristen Welker the U.S. could abandon its efforts to broker a deal if progress is not made.
President Trump is about to mark his 100th day in office. It comes as a key campaign promise is to end the war in Ukraine, and against the backdrop of that extraordinary meeting between President Trump and President Zelensky. Mr. Secretary, is Russia and Ukraine now closer to a deal in the wake of that meeting?
Well, I think they're closer in general than they've been any time in the last 3 years, but it's still not there. And as I said, and he has said, and others have said, he's done an extraordinary job. At the highest levels of our government, the president has put out everybody you can imagine, Ambassador Witkoff, myself, the National Security Advisor, the Vice President, been involved and engaged in this effort to bring the two sides closer so we can have path to peace. By the way, that's something that should be celebrated. He's trying to end a 3-year war that has no military solution, where every day people are dying, especially on the Ukrainian side, in many cases civilians and children, as we've seen the images over the last few weeks. He's trying to bring this war to an end, and we've made real progress. But those last couple steps of this journey were always going to be the hardest ones, and it needs to happen soon. We cannot continue, as I said, to dedicate time and resources to this effort if it's not going to come to fruition. So the last week has really been about figuring out how close are these sides really, and are they close enough that this merits a continued investment of our time as a mediator in this regard.
What is the timeline? Are you talking weeks or months? How long are you willing to give them to reach a peace agreement?
Well, I always think it's silly to set a specific date or whatever, but I can just tell you that almost 100 days into this presidency, the president has dedicated a tremendous amount of time and energy to this. And we think we brought the sides closer than they've been in a very long time, but we're not there yet, and it needs to start happening. We need to start, I think this is going to be a very critical week. This week is going to be a really important week in which we have to make a determination about whether this is an endeavor that we want to continue to be involved in, or if it's time to sort of focus on some other issues that are equally, if not more important in some cases. But we want to see it happen. There are reasons to be optimistic, but there are reasons to be realistic, of course, as well. We're close, but we're not close enough.
You can see my full interview and a lot more at MeetThePress.com. You can also get more Meet the Press right here on NBC News Now every weekday at 4 p.m.
All right, Kristen, thank you so much.
NBC News international correspondent Raf Sanchez joins us now for more on this. Hey, Raf, good morning. So tell us a bit more about that meeting between President Trump and President Zelensky. What came of it, and where do things stand right now on these peace efforts?
Guys, good morning. This was the first encounter between the two presidents since their disastrous meeting in the Oval Office back in February. Viewers will remember President Trump berating Zelensky. You can see this was a very different tone in that dramatic setting in the Vatican. The two presidents one-on-one, sitting basically knee to knee in those red chairs under that grand dome. And it seems like this was a meeting that went much more smoothly. President Trump emerged from it saying he was frustrated with Russia, with Vladimir Putin, and talking potentially about imposing new sanctions on Russia if they don't come to the negotiating table in good faith. I want you to take a listen to a little bit of what he had to say.
I think the meeting went well. We'll see what happens over the next few days. We'll probably learn a lot. He told me that he needs more weapons, but he's been saying that for 3 years, you know. He needs more weapons, and we're going to see what happens. I want to see what happens with respect to Russia, because Russia had been surprised and disappointed, very disappointed that they did the bombing of those places after discussions.
Now, the Ukrainians will certainly welcome that shift in tone from President Trump. He's talking about Vladimir Putin bombing Ukrainian cities, not being a good faith negotiator here. But the reality is the two sides are still very, very far apart. President Trump saying he thinks the Ukrainians are prepared to give up Crimea as part of these negotiations. The Ukrainians are saying that is an absolute non-starter. And the Russian Foreign Minister, Sergei Lavrov, today basically repeating the same set of demands that Vladimir Putin laid out when he launched this invasion back in February 2022, including that the world recognize Russian-occupied areas of Ukraine. Guys.
Ralph, let's talk about what's happening on the ground right now, especially in the Kursk region. Over the weekend, Russia said that the region was retaken from Ukraine. Seems like Kyiv doesn't really agree with that assessment. What's going on here?
Yeah, Joe, viewers will remember Kursk is that border region of Russia that Ukrainian forces burst into in that surprise offensive last year. The idea was to distract Russian troops from their fighting in the east of Ukraine, and this was potentially also a bargaining chip. But we have seen Russian forces slowly but surely grinding down the Ukrainians. Russia is now saying it has fully retaken the Kursk region. Ukraine is saying that isn't true. Whatever the exact reality on the ground is, it is clear that Ukrainian forces have been losing their footholds there. This has not turned out to be the kind of game changer that President Zelensky was hoping for. It is notable, guys, that for the first time over the weekend, we heard both Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un of North Korea acknowledging that North Koreans actually fought inside Russia as part of this battle. That is something that we have known for a long time, but it has also been something that both the Kremlin and Pyongyang have been reluctant to acknowledge in public. Guys.
Ralph, also, we're getting new details on that car bombing in Russia. We told our viewers about this. This was last week that killed a Russian general. Russian authorities say he was paid by Ukraine's security service. What are we learning, and how has Kyiv responded?
Yeah, so the Russians are saying that they now have a suspect in custody. You can see him being dragged into a Russian courtroom there. They are alleging that he was an agent of the Ukrainian intelligence services. Ukraine so far is not acknowledging that one way or another. We do know that Ukraine has carried out various assassinations, sabotage operations inside of Russia. So it is possible, given that the target here was a high-profile Russian general, it is possible that this was the work of Ukraine. This car bombing happened on Friday, and it's notable it happened on the same day that U.S. Envoy Steve Witkoff was meeting Vladimir Putin in Moscow. Guys.
All right, Ralph Sanchez, thank you very much.
Tomorrow will mark 100 days since President Donald Trump took office for his second term. Now, it's traditionally a time to measure and assess what has been done versus what was promised during the campaign. New polling is now revealing Mr. Trump has one of the worst approval ratings for a newly elected president approaching this milestone in decades.
According to a new NBC News Stay Tuned poll powered by SurveyMonkey, 55% of Americans disapprove of the way Mr. Trump is handling his job. And even when you look deeper at these attitudes towards his policies, Mr. Trump failed to win majority support on any of the specific issues that were asked about in this survey.
Here with us now for more is NBC News Stay Tuned correspondent Marquise Francis. Good to have you with us. So 55% disapproval, that's really in line with a lot of the polling we're seeing now 100 days in. Break in some of the feelings people have about Mr. Trump's performance, including areas where he's shown strength often in the past.
Yeah, Joe, when I took a look at this poll, what came to mind is there's levels to this, as young people may say, right? When you look at that 55% disapproval number and really break it down, I want to pull up a full screen that shows 42% of Americans strongly disapprove, and just 1 in 4. 26% of Americans actually strongly approve of Trump. And then when you break it down to Gen Z, for Gen Z, our youngest voting age demo, 18 to 29, 66% of them disapprove in some capacity, compared to 14% strongly approve. And so we know across demos from this poll, respondents show that their top 3 issues are the economy, threats to democracy, and of course, healthcare. 3 things the Trump administration have been doing a lot of things on, but in what direction, it's up for interpretation.
In that poll, tariffs, it was something that we asked about because obviously it's been something that we've been talking about a lot. And that really did earn Trump's lowest rating there. There is also, though, a big difference in the responses of young men and young women. There's just a little preview of that on the screen. What did this find when it comes to a gender divide?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the gender divide, we know that his approval numbers are even wider with men amongst women, men actually approving of Trump at a larger clip than women. When we look at Gen X, 56% of men for Gen X approve of Trump compared to 43% of women. But Gen Z, 45% of Gen Z men approve of Trump and just 24% of women. That's a 21-point difference, and I think it's very telling, and it could it's be indicative of the future of what the future elections, midterms could really look like.
We mentioned these are some of the worst numbers we've seen for a president 100 days in. Give us a little bit of a history lesson here. How does this compare with recent past presidents?
Yeah, I mean, you've mentioned at the top, these are the worst approval ratings in decades, and going back all the way to Dwight Eisenhower in 1950. But even most recently, you can look on the screen and see Trump the first time, or at least the first time around in 2017, Trump's approval rating was 41%. And his disapproval rating was 54%. Barack Obama was at 62%. His disapproval rating was at 29%. And even Joe Biden on the screen, 57% approval rating and 40% disapproval. So those numbers just go to show presidents in the past have been a little more popular than Trump is right now.
All right. Arquise, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Good to have you with us. Well, that poll also found that the president's immigration policy has the broadest support among respondents, but he is still underwater there. The numbers show a divided public, with 49% of adults approving of his handling of border security and immigration, while 51% disapprove.
One of the newest fights over immigration is playing out in Wisconsin right now. Over the weekend, people there rallied in support of a Milwaukee County Circuit judge. He was arrested by the FBI on Friday for allegedly helping an undocumented immigrant avoid arrest. She's now facing federal charges. Speaking to reporters yesterday, President Trump said he hoped the Supreme Court would weigh in on the issue.
What happened there is terrible. That could happen with a judge is so ashamed. Look, we have to bring our country back from all these criminals that Biden allowed to come in. These are world-class criminals. We can't let these people stay, and the courts are allowing them to stay. We're just not going to allow it. So hopefully the Supreme Court will come to the rescue of our country.
For more on all this, let's bring in NBC News senior Homeland Security correspondent Julia Ainsley and our legal analyst Danny Ceballos. Good morning to both of you. Julia, I'll start with you just to tell us more about this judge and what she's accused of doing, what she's been charged with.
So this is Judge Hannah Dugan. What she's been charged with is federally obstructing federal authorities who are trying to arrest this man. This is someone who DHS says has been charged not only with being in the country illegally, but with other crimes as well, and that they're saying that she allowed him to leave her courtroom in a way that authorities would not be able to interfere to arrest him. And this is coming after we've seen numerous arrests inside courts, something that wasn't as common before. In fact, at least in immigration courts, ICE agents used to usually stand outside so that people felt like they could actually come to their court hearing. So they didn't arrest them at that space. This is in federal court, though, and we've seen more and more presence and increased presence of ICE agents. What DHS is saying is that she basically obstructed authorities by directing him away and that he should have been arrested. And so in this case, they're calling her an activist judge. And you've heard Trump call there saying that he thinks the Supreme Court needs to weigh in on this.
So, Danny, this is not the first time that a judge has been charged with helping someone evade immigration agents. There was a similar case actually brought during the first Trump administration. We heard the president there say a moment ago he hopes the Supreme Court could weigh in. That's not the next step in this, though things have been getting to the court a lot faster. But what exactly does he hope that the court could sort out here?
Who knows? The Supreme Court is not likely to weigh in on this case. And that precedent, when the Trump administration, the first Trump administration, similarly prosecuted a state court judge for almost really very similar facts, shows that the government can prosecute judges for these crimes. I don't believe it's a good idea, but at the same time, given that there's this precedent out there, and by the way, the judge that was charged before in Massachusetts, that case went on for years. The Biden administration didn't dismiss it right away. It wasn't until about 2022, and the judge got what's called pretrial diversion. That's sort of an exoneration, but not really an exoneration, and it really derailed her career. So judges were on notice. So while I don't think the government handled this well, probably wasn't a great idea for this judge to get involved, knowing this administration is going to prosecute. Now, I think it's a defensible case. I think the judge could argue, if she wanted to go to trial, and she likely would not want to go to trial, that, hey, she was trying to avoid violence in the courtroom hallways, and if you want to arrest him out in the parking lot, that's fine. Is it a winning defense? Not entirely sure. But I think it's problematic on both sides here. Administration shouldn't be targeting judges, but at the same time, state court judges know what this administration does, and they should be aware.
Julia, tell us more about how we've been seeing immigration authorities really ramp up their operations directed at migrants.
Yeah, there was a pretty striking one just over the weekend in Colorado Springs, Savannah, where the DEA and also they were assisted by ICE and local authorities as well, arrested over 100 people, undocumented immigrants that they allege, inside an underground nightclub in Colorado Springs. This is part of what we heard we would be seeing more of, actually, having an all-of-government approach, bringing in tons of different law enforcement agencies to do raids like this. But actually, this has been less common than we thought. Instead, we've seen fewer arrests, and those who are arrested oftentimes are released because they don't have the capacity. This really is the shock and awe that they advertised in the beginning. And so we'll see if this continues to ramp up. Of course, doing anything like that takes a lot of investigative work and a lot of time, a lot of manpower. So we'll see if they're able to continue that. Another thing I wanted to point you to, Savannah, is a case that the Justice or the Department of Homeland Security is saying where a woman chose to take her 2-year-old with her when she was deported to Honduras. But a judge in that case is saying that she was not able to reach the mother to make sure that the mother approved. This is a 2-year-old who is a U.S. citizen in the United States. And DHS is saying, look, the mother chose to take the child with her rather than be separated. That happens all the time. And that is true. Parents oftentimes are stuck with this difficult decision of either bringing their child back to the country from which they fled or remaining separated, allowing the child to stay with a guardian or relative here in the United States. But in this case, the judge said that they could not reach the mother to get that confirmation and that 2-year-old was not given the due process that she deserved.
That's the case, Danny, I want to ask you more about there. The federal judge overseeing the Louisiana case was actually appointed by President Trump back in 2017. So he's now ordered a hearing for next month. He says, quote, in the interest of dispelling our strong suspicion that the government just deported a U.S. citizen with no meaningful process. So the Department of Homeland Security says this girl's mother made the decision to take the child with her to Honduras. In your view, is that going to satisfy the court, or is the process not being followed here?
Yeah, first and foremost, you cannot remove a U.S. citizen. But as Julia pointed out correctly, what often does happen is that minor children whose parents are here illegally often make the parental choice to take the child with them if they are removed. And that is lawful. And the child can return at any time in the future. And in fact, the parents can even, I believe, petition, even if they're not here lawfully, to bring the child back as a U.S. citizen to essentially drop them off. But here's the thing. When you file a habeas petition, and that's what this is, the court typically assumes everything in it is true for the moment. The court may just have a hearing and determine that the child was not deported, but taken with the mother. And you can read that throughout the order. There's language like, we don't know for sure what happened. That's what the hearing is for. So the net end result may end up being exactly the same.
All right, Danny Savalos, Julia Ainsley, thank you both very much.
The threat of severe weather is ramping up for millions of Americans this morning, and this follows a weekend of deadly flooding, tornadoes, and hail, which left parts of the country battered. NBC News correspondent Adrian Broadus reports on the damage.
Rising floodwater in Oklahoma threatening homes and sweeping cars off the road. Record rainfall forcing rescues, first responders using boats to bring neighbors to safety as officials urge some residents to evacuate. From above, you can see the creek spilling over to nearby fields.
We've got sheriff's deputies going house to house in areas that are flood prone where people are living, trying to do evacuations.
In Lawton, more than 5 inches of rain fell on Saturday, setting a daily record.
My neighbor's car was floating down the river.
Police say one person was killed after their car was submerged.
All right, pull over now.
Meanwhile, in southeast New Mexico, storms spawning 2 confirmed tornadoes. Damaging hail battering windshields and homes.
We lost our basketball goal. Look at the front of our house.
In Pennsylvania, a cold front fueling strong wind gusts as firefighters work to contain 2 wildfires. And the threat isn't over. Millions in the path for damaging wind, hail, and tornadoes. The severe weather risk ramping up with 36 million on alert from Texas to Michigan. Adrian Broadus, NBC News.
Now let's get a closer look at which parts of the country are at risk today in our Morning News Now weather.
Meteorologist Violetta Yaz is tracking the severe weather for us. Good morning, Violetta.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, unfortunately, we're in store for another active day. We're really in the thick of severe weather season. Right now, quick look at the radar showing some strong storms still moving across parts of Minnesota. Nothing severe at the moment, but plenty of heavy rain and frequent lightning. These are the thunderstorms that weakened overnight, but we're expecting another round to develop later today. in particular here with multiple corridors of severe weather possible. So we'll see that great chance late afternoon and evening. Once those conditions become favorable, we get the daytime heating going and the atmosphere just becomes ripe for these damaging thunderstorms. So this is the potential for a severe storm outbreak, as probability is rather high. We're seeing those main risks: damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, large hail, and the potential for tornadoes. Tornadoes, in fact, actually likely, in particular in this corridor here along I-35. From right around Kansas City up through Des Moines, approaching Minneapolis, and that's going to be one of those areas where the tornadoes are going to be most likely. Now, those tornadoes become particularly dangerous, or even more dangerous, I should say, when they develop after dark. So folks living in this part of the country need to make sure they have a plan in place if those warnings should start to be issued later this evening, along with those thunderstorms. Now, by tomorrow, the front is going to start to sag south and east. So we'll see some strong to severe thunderstorms across interior sections of New England and stretching into parts of Texas as well. I'm not thinking we'll see quite the same intensity. Nonetheless, still seeing that potential for some locally damaging storms. The tornado threat in this case is going to be lower. We'll get some damaging winds, and the hail threat actually a little bit more elevated in these areas for tomorrow. You can see interior sections of New York State through Pennsylvania, and stretching down into parts of Texas as well. By Wednesday, we'll see another low track into east central Texas, and again, another threat for severe weather. Just cannot get a break in this part of the country, near the Dallas, Fort Worth area, extending northward through parts of Arkansas. So again, the severe threat is going to stick with us the next couple of days. By tomorrow, 46 million at risk, damaging winds, hail, and an isolated tornado possible. But in terms of those frequent and really impactful, long-lasting tornadoes, I think today, unfortunately, is going to be the day for that, and folks really need to be prepared in the middle of the country.
All right, it's that time of year. Violetta, thank you so much.
Important info to stay safe.
Much more to come here on Morning News now. Later this hour, violation off the field. Top NFL prospects, including one high-profile name, targeted by prank callers telling them they've been picked in the NFL draft.
Up first, though, breaking news: the Vatican announcing its plans to elect a new pope just days after a solemn funeral ceremony for Pope Francis. We will be right back.
We're back with the latest out of the Middle East, where the death toll in Gaza continues to rise. The health ministry there says on Sunday hospitals received the remains of 51 people killed in Israeli strikes over the weekend. That brings the total death toll since the Israel-Hamas war began to more than 52,000 people.
This comes as the humanitarian situation in the enclave continues to deteriorate. According to the UN, the World Food Program has run out of food in Gaza as Israel's blockade remains in place. Israeli ground forces are continuing their offensive, expanding what they're calling this buffer zone in the enclave as aid supplies do rapidly decrease.
NBC News international correspondent Matt Bradley joins us now from the West Bank with the very latest. Matt, good morning. So tell us more about this military situation on the ground in Gaza. What was the objective with the strikes over the weekend?
Yeah, well, interesting enough, Joe, we haven't actually heard from the Israeli military about what the objective of those particular strikes were. It sounds as though some of them in the northern part of the Gaza Strip, according to the Palestinian health authorities, killed one Palestinian prisoner who had been released as part of these deals that have been going on. This, according to Israeli media. But these strikes were continuing, and actually we just heard in the past couple of hours that the number of the death toll has actually increased to 71, at least 71 over the past 24 hours. Well, more than 120 people have been injured. That number could go up because some of those bodies are still trapped under the rubble. And again, those airstrikes hit targets in the north, in the middle, and in the southern part of the Gaza Strip. So this is all part of this increased military pressure that the Israelis are putting on Hamas ever since they broke that ceasefire that had gotten about 2 months of some amount of peace in the Gaza Strip, and that ended on March 18th. Guys.
Matt, we mentioned the World Food Program says they have run out of food in Gaza. Just tell us more about what life is like for families there right now as this blockade continues on aid.
Yeah, well, the more than 2 million people in the Gaza Strip are really just scraping by. And we also heard from the World Food Program saying that the more than 2 million people there are at acute risk of starvation, of disease, and death. Now, we've done previous stories showing that a lot of the pressure that this is falling upon has gone onto children. They're in a desperate and critical state. And, you know, the World Food Program also said that they have about 116,000 tons of aid that are sitting at entry points around the Gaza Strip, waiting for the Israelis to lift this order and allow the food aid in to meet some of these challenges. But so far, as you mentioned, it's been about 60 days since the Israelis have let any food aid into the Gaza Strip. This is the longest period of time that the Gaza Strip has been without any outside aid. Now, the Israelis say they're doing this because they're trying to heap pressure onto Hamas to come to some sort of negotiated deal to release those remaining, it's thought to be almost 60 hostages, only 24 of whom are thought to be alive. But these negotiations have so far proved very elusive.
Matt, Israel's not just focused on Gaza. Yesterday, the Israeli military said it struck a building being used to store missiles belonging to Hezbollah in Lebanon. What more can you tell us about that?
That's right. There was a building that killed at least one person in the southern part of Lebanon. And actually, there was a strike in a suburb of Beirut, the capital of Lebanon, called Dahia. This was against a precision weapons munition warehouse, basically, that was belonging to Hezbollah. This is the third time that the Israelis have struck the environs of Beirut, all of them in that southern neighborhood of Dahia, which is a Hezbollah stronghold. It's where they really have their brain and nerve centers. But this is all since that peace treaty, or excuse me, the treaty back in November that ended more than a year of fighting between Hezbollah and the Israelis. But still, on a nearly daily basis, we've been seeing the Israelis striking targets inside Lebanese borders. But it is very rare, but that we did see today, striking outside of the capital of Beirut.
All right. Matt Bradley in the West Bank. Matt, thank you.
Well, Pope Francis was laid to rest over the weekend following a moving funeral ceremony. And just moments ago, the Vatican announced that the conclave to elect a new pope will begin next Wednesday, May 7th. Hundreds of thousands of people filled St. Peter's Square and lined the streets of Vatican City to bid a solemn farewell to the beloved pontiff. On Sunday, thousands more waited to get a glimpse of the Pope's tomb, which is located outside of the Vatican. It's in the Basilica of St. Mary Major. It's a church Pope Francis visited often. NBC News correspondent Ann Thompson has more.
A joyful noise outside the Basilica where Pope Francis is buried. His words turned into music. The faithful waiting 2 hours in a line that wrapped around Santa Maria Maggiore for a chance to walk by his tomb. Many emotional, like Cincinnati's Karen Dime.
Just what Pope Francis meant to the world, you know, a very moving experience.
The cardinals coming to pray as well. Those under the age of 80 will select Francis' successor. The start date for the conclave expected this week. Cardinal Pietro Parolin, thought to be one of the contenders, celebrated Mass in a crowded St. Peter's Square. Originally intended for the canonization of the first millennial saint, which is now delayed. The Mass, itself a reminder that unlike political transitions, much about the Catholic Church is indeed eternal.
The task of the Church is to make sense of the truths the Church has professed for 2,000 years. That's the task for the next Pope.
Brooklyn's Sophia Lazaro says Pope Francis' death has changed the conversation among her friends.
Like, I just feel like it's just been, very influential. Maybe more than I even would have thought.
A pope bringing people together in life and death. Ann Thompson, NBC News, Rome.
And while Cardinals prepare for the conclave to begin next week, many people are getting ready by watching a movie about it. Edward Berger's drama Conclave hit theaters last year. To be clear, it is a work of fiction, but it does go behind the scenes at the Vatican as Cardinals cast their ballots for the next pope. NBC News international correspondent Molly Hunter has more on how the movie compares to a real-life conclave.
The ceiling of Pope Francis's apartment, one of the first ceremonial rites performed following his death the day after Easter, looked incredibly familiar to those who have seen the movie Conclave. This week, the 2024 movie got a massive streaming bump as people sought to learn more about the rituals around saying farewell to one pope and the mysterious process of electing the next.
We're about to choose the most famous man in the world.
The real-life conclave is a centuries-old process that's barely changed with modern times. Just like in the movie, the cardinals are locked inside the Sistine Chapel under the gaze of Michelangelo's frescoes, cut off entirely from the outside world. No cell phones, not even any notes. After taking the oath of secrecy, the cardinals under the age of 80 secretly cast their votes, a maximum of 4 ballots a day. The results are tallied, then burned. It takes a 2/3 majority to elect the next leader of the Catholic Church. But black smoke means no pope yet. And while no official campaigning is allowed, it is an election after all. And Conclave the movie shows the cardinals choosing allies and breaking into factions.
You have to commit to a side.
Experts say real-life politicking is not that uncommon.
Some of the political maneuvering, especially the process of figuring out, who's a good candidate, who's not a good candidate, that all seems somewhat real to life.
When one name receives a 2/3 majority, white smoke announces to the world a new pope has been chosen. This year's conclave is the biggest and most diverse yet. Of the 135 cardinals eligible to vote, 108 were appointed by Francis, including more than 20 from places that had never had a cardinal before.
2 things are most important. One, does this man communicate a vibrant, energizing faith? And secondly, can he govern?
But it's impossible to predict. And back in 2013, well, Cardinal Jorge Bergoglio of Argentina was considered a long shot.
As the saying goes, he who goes into the conclave of pope comes out a cardinal. So while sometimes it's someone that we expect and that is sort of an inside favorite candidate, oftentimes it's someone that folks have not been really thinking about, and it can be a big surprise.
And so while there are top contenders being discussed, names being thrown about, it may be a surprise ending after all, just like in the movie.
If there was only certainty and no doubt, there would be no mystery.
The previous 2 conclaves, held in 2005 and 2013, lasted just 2 days. We'll have to wait and see if this year's conclave goes through as many voting rounds as the movie. We won't have any spoilers here, but it probably won't end the same way.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it, and I just was saying to Joe, I think I'll watch it this coming weekend.
It's got some good twists and turns.
There you go. Love it. All right, coming up, promising news for millions of people battling cancer.
Then we come back, the new kind of treatment that's being billed as an alternative to surgery and chemo. You're watching Morning News Now.
We are back with some hopeful news for cancer patients, specifically those with a specific genetic mutation. A new immunotherapy treatment could be a real breakthrough.
Over the weekend, researchers shared results from a major study, and it shows some patients may be able to treat their cancer without surgery or chemotherapy. NBC News medical contributor Dr. John Torres has the details.
Hi. When Maureen Sedaris was diagnosed with gastroesophageal cancer over 2 years ago, doctors told her she wouldn't just need chemo and radiation, but they would also have to remove part of her esophagus and stomach.
I wouldn't be able to eat or talk. My 2 favorite things in life. Are you kidding me?
But then she found a promising clinical trial for patients like her with tumors that have a genetic mutation called mismatch repair deficiency.
All our cells in the body, when they divide, they make mistakes. And mismatch repair corrects those mistakes. In these tumors, to gain an advantage, the tumors have shut down mismatch repair.
Any tumor can have the mutation, but they predominantly affect colorectal, gastric, pancreatic, and endometrial cancers.
Recently admitted here.
The trial, co-led by Dr. Luis Diaz, had patients skip surgery and instead take an immunotherapy drug.
So this immunotherapy is not just revving the immune system up to fight the tumor.
It's exposing the tumor, and if the reality is the tumor looks foreign, it will wipe it out of the body.
That study finding, the experimental approach is 80% effective in people with the mutation.
This is Maureen, and you see here her active esophageal cancer when we first met her.
That highlighted area right there.
And that black area there.
Okay.
And then after treatment, you can see that area disappears.
It's gone.
It's gone. Any tumor that needs to go for surgery should be checked for mismatch repair And in 80% of patients, we might be able to avoid surgery.
Less than a year after her diagnosis, Maureen had no evidence of cancer.
It was like winning the lottery.
Dr. John Torres, NBC News.
Coming up, sticker shock at Shein, the fast fashion giant, hiking prices by more than 300% to try and offset tariffs. We're going to bring you the latest.
Plus, an admission and an apology to Shedeur Sanders after a prank call during the NFL draft. The investigation now underway. Next on Morning News Now. We are back with the story of a teenager taking on a growing threat online. Explicit deepfakes created with artificial intelligence. In many cases, there is no clear law to prevent these from being created, but that could soon change. NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Melanie Zanona has the story.
For Texas teen Elliston Berry, her freshman year of high school quickly turned into a nightmare.
I was nervous to even walk through the hallways.
Berry woke up one morning to a gut-wrenching discovery. A nude photo of her circulating on the internet. But the image was completely fake.
I was embarrassed to tell my mom. I didn't want my mom or my stepdad to think that I would ever send these.
One of Berry's male classmates used an artificial intelligence app to digitally alter a photo of her, then shared it on Snapchat. Berry was just 14 years old at the time.
I was completely shocked. The image was it looked completely real.
But Berry and her mom found glaring holes in the law. The images were eventually removed from social media, and the alleged perpetrator, also a minor, received probation, according to Berry's mother.
It wasn't considered child pornography, although it completely is.
Deepfake pornography is a growing problem as AI technology has gotten more advanced. 15% of high school students say they are aware of sexually explicit deepfake images of someone they know. Now, thanks to Berry, there's a bipartisan push to pass the Take It Down Act to criminalize the publication of non-consensual, sexually explicit images, including those generated by AI, and require platforms to remove the images within 48 hours. First Lady Melania Trump brought Berry as her guest to the State of the Union this year. Now, the bill is on the fast track to passage, and Berry says she's glad to see Congress taking action.
The last thing I wanted to do was talk about it, but it's been super healing. I'm able to have these opportunities to speak about this and to protect so many people and to be that voice.
Our thanks to Melanie Zanona for that report. The Take It Down Act is expected to pass the House today before heading to President Trump's desk for signature. Let's get you some money news now. Fast fashion giant Shein is one of the latest companies to raise prices for U.S. consumers over President Trump's tariffs.
CNBC Savannah now has that and some other money news. Savannah, good morning.
Joe, Savannah, good morning to you. Yeah, Shein has raised U.S. prices on its products ahead of those tariffs set to go into effect this week. Bloomberg says the average price for the top 100 products in beauty and health have increased by 51%, with several more than doubling in price. Now, the average jump for home and kitchen products is more than 30%. Shein and rival Temu, which ship cheap products from China, are facing tariffs on many items as the Trump administration is ending a loophole which allowed goods worth less than $800 to be shipped duty-free. DoorDash is asking a judge to dismiss a lawsuit filed by Uber, accusing it of hurting competition by intimidating restaurant owners into signing exclusive deals. DoorDash claims the lawsuit lacks merit and is nothing more than a scare tactic from a frustrated competitor. DoorDash has the largest share of the food delivery market. Uber alleges it threatens restaurants with millions of dollars in penalties or the removal or demotion of their position on the DoorDash app. And Meta is racing to get its smart glasses to market by October. The new model will let wearers use simple on-screen apps and review photos they've taken with the device. And Bloomberg says top managers have told their teams they need to speed up their work, which in some cases means working through weekends, guys.
All right, a mad dash. There you go. Thanks, Savannah.
There is a new revelation in the prank call controversy during this year's NFL draft. We've learned the 21-year-old son of a coach was actually behind the call to top prospect Shedeur Sanders. NBC News correspondent Ryan Chandler has the latest.
The NFL investigating after NFL prospects say they received prank calls during the draft.
Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
Star prospect Shedeur Sanders thinks he's on the call of his life.
We're going to take you with our next pick right here, man.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Let's be legendary.
A prankster impersonating the general manager of the Saints, promising a draft pick.
Nobody had the number. That's what I'm saying.
Called on a phone given to him just for the draft on a number only the NFL had. The Atlanta Falcons saying the son of their defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich made the call, explaining 21-year-old Jax Ulbrich unintentionally came across the draft contact phone number for Shedeur Sanders off an open iPad while visiting his parents' home, adding the dad was unaware. NBC Sports reporting other players also received prank calls. Here's the moment Sanders finally got the real call.
Thank you for the fans. Thank you for everybody. Thank you for Browns organization for giving me a chance.
The star, widely expected to be drafted in the first round, landing with the Cleveland Browns in the 5th. Now looking past the noise, focused on the next season.
They're right about picking me. I'm a good decision. I'm a good draft pick.
Once you're here and you're on our football team, you're a part of this culture, you're a part of this family, and we're just going to keep our head down and get to work.
Despite setbacks in the draft, dreams coming true for Sanders and 256 other NFL rookies.
Our thanks to Ryan Chandler for that report. Now, the 21-year-old behind the prank call did issue a statement apologizing to Shedeur Sanders. He called the act, quote, completely inexcusable, embarrassing, and shameful. He went on to say, I'm so sorry I took away from your moment. It was selfish and childish.
Well, coming up from the Broadway stage to the softball field.
The stakes are not nearly as high as they feel. We're all just out here having fun.
Nick Jonas, George Clooney, some of Broadway's biggest stars coming together for a time-honored tradition. You are watching Morning News Now. We're back now with some big news from music fans. Last night, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame announced its 2025 class of inductees. They include Cyndi Lauper, Outkast, Soundgarden, the White Stripes, and Chubby Checker. Salt and Peppa and Warren Zevon are the recipients of this year's Musical Influence Award. The announcement aired live on a special episode of American Idol. Mariah Carey and Billy Idol were on the list of finalists, but didn't make it. Don't worry, they'll have another chance down the road. You can watch the induction ceremony live from Los Angeles this November. It'll be on Disney Plus. Always one of the best concerts of the year, that and the Grammys.
I can't believe Billy Idol isn't already in there.
You would think there's always these surprising people who are on it and then aren't on it. So.
There you go. All right. Thanks, Joe. Well, finally this hour, Broadway's biggest stars stepped off the stage and onto the softball field over the weekend. From actors to stagehands, even a few Hollywood names like George Clooney and Nick Jonas, it was game on in Central Park as the Broadway Show League celebrated its 70th season. Reporter Mark Santia from NBC New York has the highlights.
Showtime. Play ball. Central Park taking center stage as the Broadway Show League celebrates its 70th opening day, with 20 teams in and around the Broadway world taking the softball field.
Moulin Rouge, Smash.
Hamilton, Wicked, Second Stage, MJ.
A lineup of characters from on stage to back of house.
Production.
Usher.
I'm the first French horn player.
All have a chance to be in the spotlight.
SAG-AFTRA, it's the stagehands, it's the people that work in the front office.
A veteran of the Broadway Show League, Gail Scott, says this weekly gathering is steeped in tradition.
Since 1955, John Efrott started it with the Actors Fund, became this wonderful, amazing league.
With several rehearsals and shows every week, a Broadway career can be grueling, which is why this is much more than just a line.
A game.
A game.
Oh, this league is so important to all these guys and gals out here that put in such long hours on Broadway.
Getting to do this and be on Broadway, the best.
What does this league mean to you?
If I said everything, I'd be a little dramatic, but everything.
The league has some heavy hitters. Yep, that's Goodnight and Good Luck's George Clooney at the plate.
The stakes are not nearly as high as they feel. We're all just out here having fun, but it's good to be together and to be outside.
One out, one out.
With a starring role at the hot corner, as well as the production of the last 5 years, Nick Jonas came to play.
I think I'm up at third base. I got to run.
I'm in the Book of Mormon.
What's your role?
I'm a swing, so that means I cover
5 female parts, and whenever they're out, I'm on.
A swing on stage. Raquel Williams is taking her first swing in the league. Raquel is a rookie this year.
It's just fun to have community and hang out.
I had never played softball before because I was a dancer. Dancers are not allowed to play ball. Dancers are not allowed to do sports. But this was a place where we were allowed to and encouraged to actually be sportsy.
Putting on the Ritz. For the Ritz family, Mike and Joanne, these Broadway veterans met, fell in love, and got married, all thanks to the Broadway Show League.
We've really developed a sense of kinship and family.
From play ball to curtain call, these artists and athletes are gearing up for a summer of Broadway Show League and a place in New York City history.
It's been in existence for 70 years. We are the longest running softball league in Central Park.
Our thanks to Mark Santia for that report. Well, the Broadway Show League season runs through mid-August with games played every Thursday in Central Park. So fans are welcome to stop by and catch their favorite stars in action. Do you ever go?
No, I've never seen it, but I'm wondering what people thought walking by and seeing George Clooney at the plate.
I wonder how many Thursdays he's out there.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it for this hour. Morning News Now.
Stay with us, though. The news continues right now. Good morning and happy Monday. Thanks for starting your week off with us. I'm Savannah Sellers.
I'm Joe Fryer. Right now on Morning News Now, President Trump's escalating immigration overhaul as his administration nears that 100-day milestone. The White House now defending removing American children on deportation flights along with their parents. It all comes amid new anger over that extraordinary arrest of a Wisconsin judge. She was taken into custody for allegedly trying to stop an ICE raid right at her courthouse. We're covering it all. Also this morning, online bargain hunters bracing for impact. Product prices on some of your favorite low-cost sites set to tick higher. It's not just President Trump's tariff tussle with China that could be to blame. We're watching your wallet in a moment. Plus, the final goodbye. Thousands of the world's Catholics coming together as one over the weekend, all to pay respects to the late Pope Francis. This morning, we're learning now when the Conclave will begin to usher in a new era for the church. And fitness, fact or fiction, we are clearing the air on creatine, increasingly touted by social media stars, even pro athletes, as a performance game changer. Is the popular supplement really all that it's built up to be, and is it safe? The doctor is in later in the hour.
I'm happy to know that because I do see it all over TikTok.
There you go.
Like, one more thing
we got to set the record straight on. All right. We begin this morning with the new fallout over President Trump's escalating immigration crackdown. His administration is now defending several controversial removals of families with children who are U.S. citizens.
Meanwhile, as Joe just mentioned, in Wisconsin, protests erupted over the weekend after a Milwaukee County Circuit judge was arrested by the FBI for allegedly helping an undocumented immigrant avoid arrest. She is now facing federal charges. It all comes as new polling shows the public is sharply divided over the president's handling of what was one of his signature campaign issues. NBC News senior White House correspondent Gabe Gutierrez has the latest.
The White House clearly highlighting its deportation efforts, overnight putting pictures of what it says are recent arrests here on the North Lawn. It comes as we're getting new poll numbers for the president's first 100 days in office. While his approval rating in our poll is slightly higher than this time in his first term, there are some warning signs on two of his top issues, the economy and immigration. This morning, Donald Trump facing political headwinds ahead of his 100th day as president. A new NBC News poll showing a majority of Americans disapprove of the way Trump is handling the job. The Republicans are still largely behind the president. But Trump facing pushback on his two signature issues, the economy and immigration.
And I ran on a campaign of taking criminals out of our country.
Now, NBC News' poll shows 51% of Americans disapprove of how he's handling immigration, and a CNN poll showing 54% disapprove. It comes as the Trump administration's crackdown escalates. Two cases involving undocumented mother and their American children now in the spotlight. Last week, one mother sent from Louisiana to Honduras with her two children who are U.S. citizens. One is a 4-year-old with a rare form of cancer. Immigration advocates say he now doesn't have access to his medication. Another undocumented mother and her American-born 2-year-old daughter also removed from Louisiana to Honduras on Friday. The Department of Homeland Security telling NBC News she chose to take her child. But immigration advocates say that's not true.
We know for a fact that the mother did not actually want her U.S. citizen child to go with her.
The president's border czar arguing the responsibility is on the parents.
This is parenting 101. You can decide to take that child with you, or you can decide to leave the child here. Having a U.S. citizen child doesn't make you immune from our laws of the country.
The Secretary of State also responding on Meet the Press.
Is everyone on U.S. soil, citizens and non-citizens, entitled to due process?
Yes, of course. But let me tell you, it looks in immigration standing, the laws are very specific. If you're in this country unlawfully, you have no right to be here and you must be removed.
There are also new signs that a majority of Americans aren't happy with the president's tariff policies. 61% of Americans in that NBC News Stay Tuned poll disapprove of Trump's handling of trade and tariffs, compared with 39% who approve of it. And 54% say they expect his tariff policies will make their personal finances worse in the next year.
All right, Gabe, thank you.
President Trump says he is hopeful a deal can be reached with Iran following another round of talks over the weekend on its nuclear program. Officials in Iran are also sounding positive, and many in that country hope an agreement can be reached that would see an easing of sanctions. NBC News chief foreign correspondent Richard Engel is once again in Iran's capital, Tehran, with the latest. Richard, good morning.
Good morning. American and Iranian officials met again in Oman. And yes, they are talking about progress. They're talking about optimism. They both agreed to meet again, most likely this weekend.
President Trump is sounding definitive and optimistic about Iran nuclear talks.
On the Iran situation, I think we're doing very well. I think a deal's going to be made there. That's going to happen. Pretty sure it's going to happen.
After a third round of talks in Oman this weekend to put controls on Iran's nuclear program in exchange for lifting sanctions, Iranian officials are also sounding their most upbeat yet. Iran's foreign minister saying the talks were more serious than before. For a moment, the negotiations looked in serious jeopardy. Just as U.S. and Iranian officials began to meet, a massive explosion tore through Iran's main port. Parts are still smoldering, with dozens killed and hundreds injured. But an Iranian official this morning told NBC News there are no indications it was sabotage or an Israeli attack. More likely, he said, human error ignited flammable materials. Across Iran, people are pinning their hopes on an agreement to avoid war and to show the world a different side to this country. Like Iran's Contemporary Art Museum, it has 4,600 pieces long considered taboo by the Islamic government, but now on display, including Picassos that few outside Iran have ever seen.
Thank you for showing beauty of this country, because these people deserve it, for the people see who they truly are.
There is a moment right now. You can feel it. You can sense
it. Yeah.
You're sensing it. We are as well.
And people are optimistic. They're just hoping something happens.
Officials from the International Atomic Energy Agency are here in Tehran, and for the first time, they will be joining the next round of talks. Joe?
All right, Richard, thank you so much.
Well, now let's head to Canada, where they are dealing with the aftermath of a deadly attack. A driver plowed into a crowded street festival in Vancouver, killing at least 11 people and injuring dozens more. NBC News correspondent Dana Griffin is in Vancouver. She joins us with the latest. Hi, Dana. Good morning.
Hey, Savannah, good morning to you. Police have a suspect in custody, but say this was not an act of terrorism. Authorities say the suspected driver is a Vancouver resident with known mental health issues.
We are all experiencing a range of emotions right now, from grief to anger to disbelief.
This morning, a Canadian city is grieving after a deadly rampage left 11 people dead and dozens injured, ranging in age from 5 to 65. Police say a 30-year-old man, Kaiji Adam Lowe, plowed a black SUV through a crowded street festival Saturday as people celebrated Filipino culture. He has now been charged with 8 counts of second-degree murder, and authorities expect to file additional charges.
He just pushed the gas all the way through the whole block right there,
crashing into like everyone in his way.
Everyone started running, and then I hear crying, weeping, and I started getting a panic attack.
Witnesses at the scene were able to subdue him until police arrived. Police do not believe this was an act of terrorism.
The person we have in custody does have a significant history of interactions with police related to mental health.
The block party drew tens of thousands during the day. As the event was winding down Saturday night, authorities received a code orange indicating a mass casualty event. Black Eyed Peas singer Appledy App, who had just finished performing, later writing on Instagram, "It's hard to describe the shock and heaviness we feel." Sheldon Nipshank returned to the scene soon after the crash.
I was in disbelief of what I saw. I just hope everybody has the strength to get through this.
Some of the victims still have not been identified. It's also not clear if the suspect who appeared in court yesterday entered a plea to the charges against him. Police say they conducted a risk assessment and determined dedicated police officers and vehicle barriers were not required. They are now looking into whether more could have been done to prevent this tragedy. Savannah.
All right, Dana, thank you so much.
Closer to home, authorities in Clearwater, Florida are investigating a deadly ferry crash that they're calling a hit and run. Shortly after 9 o'clock last night, police say a boat struck the ferry carrying 45 people before fleeing the scene. One person died from injuries suffered in the crash. Several others were injured. NBC News correspondent Marissa Parra joins us now from Clearwater with the latest. Marissa, good morning.
Joe, good morning. It's a totally different scene right now. We're looking at almost 12 hours after this happened. These waters behind me were teeming with activities. Authorities, police looking through the waters after this hit and run on the water involving a boat and a popular ferry service here with 45 people on board.
This morning, an investigation is underway into a deadly crash off Florida's west coast between a private boat and a packed ferry. Authorities describing it as a hit and run on the water.
Water rescue, marine needed.
The Clearwater Fire Department calling the collision a mass casualty incident. It happened around 9 p.m. Sunday around the city's Memorial Causeway Bridge on the final day of the popular Sugar Sand Festival that draws thousands every year. According to the city of Clearwater, there were 45 people on board, including 2 crew members. At least 1 passenger died and a number of others injured.
We had 6 trauma alerts.
Authorities say the boat that crashed into the ferry, quote, immediately fled the scene, but was later identified by another law enforcement agency. The ferry came to a stop on a sandbar under the Memorial Causeway Bridge. In a statement on X, the city of Clearwater writing in part, quote, "It is not believed that there is anyone reported missing from the ferry." The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission will take the lead on the crash investigation with help from the U.S. Coast Guard.
Now, 6 trauma alerts were activated for people who were injured. 2 people were taken by helicopter right from where I'm standing. And we mentioned 1 person did die, Joe. Of course, we're waiting to learn more about the identities of that person who died, the survivors. And of course, waiting to learn more about who was on that boat that fled and why. Joe?
All right, Marissa, thank you.
Well, this morning, millions are once again in the path of damaging wind, hail, and tornadoes.
NBC meteorologist Violetta Yaz is tracking the severe weather for us. Violetta, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, another active day in store. We'll start with a quick peek at the radar here. Heavy showers and thunderstorms moving out of the plains now and into parts of the upper Midwest. Now, east of Fargo, we have a line of thunderstorms also approaching Minneapolis. Now, no severe weather at the moment. All of the stronger storms that developed yesterday and overnight have weakened, but we're expecting more severe weather to develop later this afternoon and evening. That's when we'll have the best chance for those thunderstorms to become severe. And we're likely to see multiple corridors of severe weather here across the middle of the country late afternoon and evening. All severe weather threats on the table here, damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, damaging hail. We had golf ball sized hail in the plains just yesterday, so we may be seeing those larger sizes again this afternoon. Strong tornadoes, meanwhile, are going to be likely, especially where you see the darker shading here along that corridor of I-35 from near Kansas City up through Des Moines and approaching approaching Minneapolis, that's where we're seeing that greater threat for very strong and potentially long-lived tornadoes. Minneapolis and Des Moines are included in this. So another thing to keep in mind here, those thunderstorms and tornadoes can be especially dangerous when they start to develop after dark. So tornadoes at night, very dangerous situation. Folks in this part of the country need to make sure they have a plan, of course, if we do start to see those warnings that develop. Now, by tomorrow, this front does start to shift a little further east, so we'll see a line of thunderstorms across the interior Northeast, extending all the way down into Texas. So another day of severe weather, likely a little bit less in intensity. You can see sort of one category down here, but another day with that potential for damaging winds. Lower tornado threat in this case as we head into tomorrow, but perhaps a bigger or if not comparable chance for that larger hail, 2 inches in diameter or higher. Now, I want to talk about the rain a little bit. This part of the country got a lot of rain over the weekend, several inches. We saw a lot of flooding here, and unfortunately, with these repeated rounds of severe weather, we may be looking at additional flooding here from parts of North Texas through Oklahoma City up into Springfield. You can see several inches of rain possible here. So dangerous situation, not only when you take into account those main severe weather risks, the damaging winds, the hail, and the potential for tornadoes, but flooding, unfortunately, likely to be an issue in some of these areas as well. Really quick, I want to touch on the temperature roller coaster. You can see the cooler air now starting to invade the western part of the country, the Rockies and parts of the high plains as well behind this front. Meanwhile, ahead of it, temperature starting to climb. We're getting more 80s and 90s. And after a cool Sunday here in the Northeast and New York specifically, we're starting to get some warmer temperatures in the mix as well. So up to the 80s here across parts of the Carolinas, Virginia, and up into the Northeast. So summer starting to sort of rear its head a little bit. And we're off to a warm start to May as well. So temperatures as we head into the second part of the week will cool down a little bit, but things all typical of spring, right? The temperature roller coaster,
No kidding.
and then, of course, the chance for severe weather, unfortunately, is going to stick around with us a little bit longer. So a lot on the table here as we get the work week started.
Yesterday, the wind here, too.
Too much.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, do you hear that? The Beehive is buzzing as Beyonce is set to kick off her highly anticipated Cowboy Carter tour in Los Angeles. This as the season of summer concerts kicks into overdrive. NBC News correspondent Kaylee Hartung has a preview of tonight's show and how you might be able to see some of the hottest shows without going broke.
Hey there, Queen Bee is back on the road as she rallies the Hive for the first of 9 stops on her Cowboy Carter tour right here in LA tonight. The details, of course, still under wraps, maybe a little game of Texas Hold'em, but as showtime nears, we're clapping as hints are dropping and so are ticket prices.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Beyonce's rodeo is about to begin.
Hello, girls. Hello, Beyonce.
In just hours, the Cowboy Carter tour will kick off, not in Texas,
This ain't Texas.
but in Los Angeles, with the first of 5 shows at SoFi Stadium. On Sunday, the Queen Bee giving fans a glimpse of the stage where she's set to showcase her Grammy-winning album, Cowboy Carter.
I don't know what you're waiting for.
Beyonce's return to touring already has eager fans buzzing, some staking out last-minute rehearsals.
And she's rehearsing at this very moment.
It sounds so good. Others gearing up by breaking out their bedazzled denim and Western wear.
We clapping.
As Beyonce gets back in the saddle, other artists like Katy Perry, The Weeknd, Oasis, Bruce Springsteen, and Lady Gaga are also set to hit the road this summer. But many sky-high ticket prices have some fans fuming.
The nosebleed 600. In this economy, Beyonce!
Some also frustrated after seeing prices on Ticketmaster drop for certain shows weeks after first going on sale.
Note to self, I'm not buying during a presale, ever again.
Ticketmaster did not respond to our request for comment. It comes as lawmakers renew calls for Congress to pass the Boss and Swift Act, named after Bruce Springsteen and Taylor Swift, whose fans have had bad blood with the ticketing giant since sales for her record-breaking Eras tour went awry.
The website fully crashed.
If passed, the bill would limit so-called junk fees and prohibit sellers from changing prices during the purchase process. But the lack of new regulations hasn't kept the Beehive from swarming.
I think at the bottom line, fans are looking forward to see Beyonce, and, you know, whatever
changes and frustrations that might come with that, they're still willing to foot the bill.
So there are still some last-minute deals out there if you want to get in on the fun with Beyonce. But the key is to keep a close eye on what tickets are available and if those prices are changing. Here in LA, we have even seen new batches of tickets being put for sale as other sections sell out. And hey, as for what to expect once you have a seat, well, Beyonce's mom, Tina Knowles, posted on social media that Beyonce was up into the early morning hours on Sunday making her final adjustments. Tina says this show isn't going to be good, it's going to be great. I'm sold. Back to you.
Of course, it's Beyonce.
Thank you, Kaylee. Appreciate it.
Much more to come on this hour of Morning News. Now, a little later, we're digging into a fitness phenomenon exploding on social media that's got some in the medical community sounding the alarm.
First, some breaking news this morning. The Vatican announcing its plans to elect a new leader of the Catholic Church just days after a solemn funeral ceremony for Pope Francis. We've got the latest next.
We are back with a high-profile trial in Paris, France, involving Kim Kardashian that is set to begin this morning. 10 people are accused of stealing $9 million worth of jewelry from Kardashian while holding her at gunpoint back in 2016. The reality star is expected to testify. NBC News entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas has the details.
Hey there, the trial is set to get underway today at the Court of Appeals in Paris, and the defendants face charges in connection with that armed robbery. Kardashian, who was gagged, bound, and held at gunpoint during the theft, she'll be traveling to Paris to testify in person at the trial.
After almost 9 years since a terrifying attack and robbery on Kim Kardashian in Paris, this morning the suspects in that violent crime are now on trial. Nicknamed the Grandpa Robbers by French media due to their ages, 10 people will be tried, 9 men and 1 woman. Among the charges, armed robbery, kidnapping, unauthorized possession of weapons, and participating in a criminal conspiracy. Kardashian is expected to take the stand to recount the details of that harrowing night. In a recent statement, her attorney saying Ms. Kardashian is preserving her testimony for the court and jury. The armed burglary taking place in the early morning hours of October 3rd, 2016, when Kardashian, who was attending Paris Fashion Week, stayed back at this private Paris hotel alone, while her sisters and security guard were out. It was around 2:30 a.m. when 5 masked burglars wearing police jackets entered the building after possibly seeing Kardashian wearing a multi-million-dollar ring on social media. The armed assailants making their way to Kardashian's bedroom, gagging, bounding, and blindfolding her. Kardashian emotional when she opened up about the terrifying moment on Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
They asked for money. I said I don't have any money. They dragged me out to the hallway on top of the stairs. That's when I saw the gun, like clear as day.
And later revealed she thought she was going to die.
Just kept on thinking about Courtney. I kept on thinking she's going to come home and I'm going to be dead in the room.
The thieves making off with over $9 million of the star's jewelry. 3 months later, police arresting many of the suspects using DNA evidence and security footage. Kardashian, who is one of the most followed Instagram accounts in the world, telling Today in 2019 that her privacy is a balancing act.
Before, I was going to every hot spot and every place where you could possibly be seen. And so I definitely know the balance of privacy and how to take that for myself, for my own, mental well-being.
During that trip to Paris, Kim Kardashian, she was staying at a hotel that offers private luxury apartments to their guests. Now, the building has limited security, and the robbers, they were able to overpower the one man who was on duty that night. Now, as for her private security detail, the bodyguard that she had hired, he wasn't on site during the attack, and he was reportedly let go in the aftermath. Now, this trial is expected to last about a month, with Kardashian slated to take the stand on May 13th. There won't be any cameras in the courtroom, but we should add that several of the accused, they've denied the charges. Back to you.
All right, Chloe, thank you.
A start date has been set for the Conclave. That's the secretive process to select the new leader of the Catholic Church. We now know it will kick off on May 7th. That is a week from Wednesday. The announcement comes after Pope Francis was laid to rest on Saturday. Hundreds of thousands of people came to say one final goodbye to the Pope. NBC News correspondent Ann Thompson is live at the Vatican with the latest details. Ann, good morning.
Good morning, Joe. The Cardinals met this morning. There were about 180 of them, including 100 Cardinal electors. But the number of cardinal electors is 135, and so we have to believe that is one of the reasons that the start date for the conclave won't happen for a week and a half. That's the process to choose a successor to Pope Francis.
The Sistine Chapel is closed this morning to prepare for the election of the next pope after a weekend celebrating the life of Pope Francis. In the majestic setting of St. Peter's Square, a funeral for a man who wanted to be remembered simply as a pastor. 250,000 people crowded the square and spilled into the streets, most just pilgrims. While near the altar sat the powerful, including President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, the two also meeting privately at the Vatican. At the funeral, all heard the dean of the College of Cardinals praise Francis as the man who spoke for the voiceless, especially migrants and refugees, recalling the Pope's phrase to build bridges, not walls. Across the ocean in France's hometown of Buenos Aires, the Archbishop moved to tears at a Mass for the Pope. Then Rome said goodbye to Francis, who was also its bishop. A final ride through its streets in the Pope-mobile to his burial site inside the Basilica of Santa Maria Maggiore. A respectful atmosphere as cardinals prayed, while outside a festive feeling. These Brazilian nuns applauded Francis' attention to those on the edge of society.
His joy, his openness.
The wait Sunday, 2 hours to spend seconds in front of his tomb. Ushers telling the crowd to move quickly and men to remove their hats. For Cincinnati's Karen Dime, it was overwhelming.
Just what Pope Francis meant to the world. You know, a very moving experience.
Now, Rowan, officials say as of 1 p.m. yesterday, 30,000 people had filed past Pope Francis's tomb. That's a real testament to the affection for the Pope in this city and around the world. Joe?
No doubt. All right, Ann, thank you so much. Coming up, a fitness fixation that's causing quite the stir both online and in the medical community.
Yeah, we're talking about creatine. It's a popular supplement that's exploding on social media. But how can you separate fact from fiction? We'll dig into the hype next. Welcome back. This morning, we're taking a deep dive into creatine. People just can't seem to stop talking about this supplement online.
Gym goers, even pro athletes, are now praising creatine as a game changer for strength, for performance, even brain health. So how safe is it really? And is it something you should include in your health journey?
NBC News medical fellow Dr. Akshay Syal joins us to break it all down. Hi, doctor. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. You know, a lot of us have heard about creatine and how it can help with things like energy and performance in the gym. But guys, can this supplement also boost your brain? That's what some, including Masters winner Rory McIlroy, are hoping. Now, we spoke to two leading researchers, including one leading a study on creatine and Alzheimer's, to learn more.
Creatine is everywhere.
We should buy some creatine.
On social, so-called gym bros touting its benefits to build muscle.
It's a legitimately proven performance enhancer.
While gym girlies showing off transformations online.
This is your sign to stop being afraid of creatine. This is me in May before I started taking it. This is me now after about 8 months of taking it every single day.
Even reaching the big screens.
No, thank you. I'm all good on creatine.
For decades, celebrated by athletes for its ability to enhance strength, performance, and even recovery. But its popularity now, a far cry from 20 to 30 years ago. Back in 1998, Mark McGuire received major backlash after opening up about using creatine. He got injected into the center of the steroid debate, in many ways becoming synonymous with the banned substances, despite creatine being a nutritional supplement that's usually ingested as a powder or capsule. So you may be asking, what exactly is creatine? It's a natural substance found in the body that serves as a source of energy for our muscles, also found in some food, like meat and fish. Experts and a large body of research say it's relatively safe. But now, a wave of new studies suggesting it may offer benefits beyond the squat rack. In our brains,
Literally, like every week over the last several weeks, I've had another patient ask me or say, hey, I heard about creatine and should I be taking it?
A recent paper found that creatine may improve memory in older adults. And another study found that a high dose might improve cognitive performance in people who are sleep deprived. Limited data like this appears to be promising, experts say. While they still caution, not enough is known about its impact on the brain.
I will say that we have some great evidence that suggests we should look at it further. But at the moment, we're still yet to understand how creatine interacts with cognitive function.
For those looking for any sort of boost from creatine, always be careful what you're putting in your body. Because it's a supplement, it's not FDA regulated, so be aware of potential fakes. And even if you're getting the real thing.
It's not just all about a magic pill or a magic supplement or vitamin. It's about a multimodal comprehensive approach from exercise, nutrition, sleep, stress reduction, monitoring blood pressure.
At higher doses, experts also say, there could be unwelcome side effects, like muscle cramps and an upset stomach. So if the buzz is getting to your head, be sure to stick to the generally recommended dose of 5 grams and talk to your doctor before taking more.
And Dr. Sile is going to continue this conversation with us. So, I mean, it's obviously become one of the most popular supplements around. We saw how much it's being seen on social media right now. It is something that's naturally found in our bodies and in certain foods. So what are the benefits? What is research telling us outside of building muscle? Are there other things? And for people who have also heard a lot about protein, how do you square those two?
Right, Savannah. It's a great question. So, for those who don't know, creatine essentially, it works by improving our energy levels. It sort of increasing the amount of energy available to our muscles. And that's why, Savannah, we think it helps in the gym in terms of performance and exercise. But, the big thing with the brain also uses energy just like the muscles do. And so it would make sense that creatine might have some benefit there. And so, Savannah, what leading experts are telling me, really, there's some promising signals, right? There's some evidence it can help people who are sleep deprived in terms of their memory and cognition. And guys, also in older adults and vegetarians might actually see some benefit. I can give you a little sneak peek here. We've spoke to somebody leading a study on creatine and Alzheimer's disease who's telling me that the findings, which are going to be published next month, are, quote, exciting. So, guys, a lot of signals here, but we'll see what we have going forward.
So because, experts say it is relatively safe, but you also mentioned some people experiencing muscle cramps, upset stomach. It's not FDA regulated right now. So just what are some of the risks people should watch out for, really, when you're just buying supplements?
Yeah, Joe, anytime you have a supplement, just know that the FDA doesn't test literally everything in the bottle or the pill or the powder. So, you are taking some sort of risk in that sense. And there are some things, muscle cramps. Just for everyone to know who takes creatine, there is a link towards one of your kidney markers might be elevated on your blood test, but as long as your doctor knows, it's okay. And guys, I should just say, I've taken creatine myself. We have doctors in my clinic who also take creatine. It is one of the safest supplements studied, but if you are going to take it, just be aware of those potential risks.
One of the first bullets on that list of negative effects, I'm looking at it's weight gain, but I think people think of this in the context of fitness. Can you explain that?
Yeah, Savannah, sometimes you can get water retention with creatine, meaning that you can feel a little bit bloated and you can sort of hold on to some of that water. But that does tend to go away over time, especially if you stop it as your body sort of gets adjusted. But that is what we refer to when you say weight gain there.
All right, Dr. Sile, I'm happy to have my questions answered because it's popping up all the time. Thank you.
Drones are often used to perform a variety of tasks and jobs. Well, in Minnesota, they're now tasked with keeping the mosquito population in check. Reporter Gordon Severson from our affiliate KARE 11 in the Twin Cities shows us how it works.
For years, the Metropolitan Mosquito Control District was treating this wetland area near Maple Plain with a helicopter. But for the first time ever this year, they're now treating it with a drone.
We do a pre and post checklist.
In Minnesota, everyone has their own trick to keep those pesky mosquitoes away.
It's called the A-Grass T25. 3, 2, 1, lift with your back.
At the Metropolitan Mosquito Control District, their newest trick,
ready for takeoff,
is drones.
We did a case study the first couple of years.
The district purchased its first drone back in 2020.
So let's do its thing.
And then now it's starting its treatment.
After some trial and error, they decided the drones weren't just a gimmick. They actually made the job easier.
We sat down, had a meeting. It was like, well, it's actually really helping out in a lot of areas. Let's buy more.
They recently purchased 5 more, increasing their fleet to 8.
Looks good.
The flight crew says in a single day, they can treat up to 20 sites. At each site, they load up the hopper with granules.
So it targets mosquito and midge larvae.
They check the wind and flight path, and then they take to the skies.
It's flying on a predetermined path that we've already planned out.
The team says drones are great for sites that are too small for their helicopters.
A helicopter is loud and has a big swath width.
And drones are safer than using workers on the ground.
So we would physically have somebody walk in with waders, a 50-pound backpack on their back, and spreading the pellets that way. That can be dangerous, so the drone replaces that.
Right now, drones are treating about 10% of the district sites across the Twin Cities metro.
Sometimes you got to play the wind, so you kind of predict where this material is falling.
A number that will grow significantly in the coming years as the district wages its endless war against public enemy number 1. So don't be surprised if you see one of these drones flying around in your community this summer. They've added several new sites this year to keep those mosquito numbers in check.
Thank you, Gordon Severson, reporting from Minnesota, where the mosquito is the unofficial state bird. That's the joke there.
Terrible.
All right. No, they're bad.
All right, coming up, a stunning peek into the past this morning.
Yeah, when we come back, the secrets of Egypt's ancient cities revealed in some jaw-dropping new discoveries, now shedding light on one of history's most fascinating civilizations. More on that next.
Welcome back. If you're a fan of shopping online from places like Temu, Shein, or Amazon, you could be in for an unwelcome surprise.
Yeah, these popular shopping sites known for low-cost goods have raised some of their prices in the wake of U.S. tariffs, and more increases could be on the horizon.
We have NBC News senior business correspondent Christine Romans joining us with more on all this. Christine, good morning. Great to have you with us. So help us understand exactly why prices are going up for sites like this, the impact of tariffs on companies like these.
Well, for Shein and Temu, they predominantly ship from Hong Kong and China, and these are very low-cost goods. I mean, if you've ever shopped on these sites, I mean, you can get a sweater for like $2 in some cases, right? So they had been exempted because they were small packages. They've been exempted from some of these duties and no longer. So you've got it's basically a doubling in the price to bring these things over to this country. So one price tracker found like a portable air conditioner humidifier fan. It used to be $21, now it's $30. A men's tennis shirt, just under $10 now, $14. This is what border taxes do, right? I mean, this is what tariffs, it's what the whole point of the president's tariffs are, to make these things more expensive. Imported goods from China in particular, more expensive, and that's what we have. Amazon also has all these third-party sellers, and watching those third-party seller prices, you can see those have been rising as well. Many of these are small businesses that import goods from China. Imagine if you are importing $10,000 in tennis shoes, you're a business owner. Yeah. Now you have to pay $14,500 for extra duties to get that $10,000 of tennis shoes in. Obviously, that price has to go somewhere.
Yeah. I know we're expecting a lot of earnings reports this week, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. But just so far, what are business leaders saying about how this is going to impact consumers in the next few weeks, in the next few months?
I mean, they've been scrambling. The big retailers and companies have been pulling as much inventory as they can into the country ahead of tariffs. So they're probably well stocked for the summer. Cars as well, car dealerships, they have full inventories pre-tariff. They're even marking down in some cases. So there are some deals to be had. Bank of America Institute told me that they can see from the end of March all the way through April, people are really rushing to buy ahead for cars. But there could be shortages for the independent men's retailer in your town, or the little independent general store, you know, that has the back-to-school stuff in your town. Those small business owners are going to be facing big costs. We've seen the number of containers coming to the U.S. from China has just fallen off a cliff. So you could see shortages in some of these stores in the weeks ahead, weeks and months ahead, I would say.
You've also been keeping us honest on some of these bigger ticket items that people have on their brains, like cars. What about lately? Is that something you should buy?
So I think Dodge, Ford, Ram, they're offering employee pricings. That's some of the best deal pricing you can get. So look at those. If you need a car, it's in your budget and you can afford it. As I mentioned, we can see that people are buying ahead of cars, saying, you know what, this whole tariff thing has been stop, start, on, off, confusing. There are dozens of deals that have to be made. I'm going to get a car now and just let this whole thing work out there. And then also bigger ticket items like we've seen durable goods orders increase. Durable good, those are things like washers and dryers. And people are like, you know, I'm going to go ahead and get something that's on the showroom floor right now that doesn't have all these tariffs on it because I need to. Again, do what's best for your own family budget. But that's what we've been seeing consumers respond and react to what is a new trade reality.
We know for the president, the goal was to get more companies to produce in the U.S., move production here. We know it's to get shoppers to buy more American goods. Any evidence those things are happening?
Well, you can see a lot of companies that are scrambling to figure out how to have a bigger America footprint. But in some cases, it doesn't make sense. For example, toys. 75% of American toys come from overseas, almost all from China. You know, they just aren't made here anymore because they would be so expensive. Well, there just isn't an industry. Footwear, tennis shoes, these are industries that are someplace else. I mean, you could even be as simple as coffee beans. You know, we import coffee because other countries grow it better than we do. We do other things better. So we'll have to wait and see if there is a big resurgence of manufacturing in the United States. That's what the president would want. Reports late last week, though, were that Apple was considering moving more of its production of iPhones destined for the U.S. to India. So not here,
right?
But not China.
Yeah.
So there's a lot on the chessboard at the moment.
You don't want New York grown coffee?
No, I don't. I would brew coffee in New York.
There you go.
Thanks, Christy. You're welcome.
All right, moving from shopping now to drug prices. The White House's tariff push might soon impact how much you pay for medicine.
CNBC's Silvana Henao has that and some other money news for us. Hey, Silvana.
Hey, Savannah. Hey, Joe. Good morning. Well, a 25% tariff on pharmaceutical imports would raise drug costs by nearly $51 billion a year. Now, that's according to a report commissioned by the industry's trade group and reviewed by Reuters. Now, if companies pass on the higher costs, it could boost drug prices by as much as 13%. Now, the U.S. imported more than $200 billion in pharma products in 2023, with nearly 3/4 coming from Europe. Elon Musk's xAI Holdings is in talks to raise roughly $20 billion in funding. Bloomberg reports if the deal is completed, it would be the second largest funding round ever for a startup, trailing only the $40 billion raised by OpenAI earlier this year. Now, the transaction would value xAI, which recently combined Musk's AI and social media businesses, at more than $120 billion. And Nike is facing a lawsuit from a group of people who bought the company's NFTs. Nike is shutting its virtual show project. Now, the buyers of the digital assets accuse the company of pulling the rug out from under them, and they wouldn't have bought in if they'd known they were unregistered securities. The proposed class action suit is seeking unspecified damages of more than $5 million, guys.
All right,
you know, those
Silvana.
NFTs, I still don't get them. But
No. Welcome to the club. You're on the right show.
Kind of thought we were done with them. But
Nope, they're back.
Here we go.
All right, thanks, Silvana.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. More than 2,000 years, the secrets of Egypt's ancient cities and tombs stayed hidden beneath the sand.
Yeah, but today new discoveries are offering a stunning window into the lives of the pharaohs and their people. From tombs filled with mysteries to golden cities frozen in time. This morning we're taking you inside some of the latest finds and what they reveal about one of history's most fascinating civilizations.
Joining us now from Cairo is Dr. Zahi Hawass. He is a world-renowned Egyptologist and the former Egyptian Minister of Antiquities. Good to have you with us. We appreciate you taking the time to speak with us, Doctor. Our viewers might remember seeing your work a few weeks ago in a piece about the lost Golden City with Keir Simmons, where residents had sealed up their homes, left behind a treasure trove of daily life. When your team first started uncovering that site, what went through your mind?
You know, I had no idea that I'm going to discover this city. The city was mentioned in hieroglyphic, but never thought by anyone that this city could be discovered. I found by accident when I discovered the funerary temple of Tutankhamun to the north of the temple of Medinat Habu. I was sitting in a chair. I said to my assistant, make a sondage here. we found one house that led us to the most amazing discovery that was chosen as the most important discovery in Egypt or in the world for the year 2021. And also the second important discovery after the discovery of the tomb of Tutankhamun. Because for the first time, you have an idea about the people who made this civilization. We found the name of Semenekara with the throne name of Queen Nefertiti. We discovered how the city was saved because Ramses IV came to make a temple, and he covered the city with sand. And this is why we found the city completely intact. A major important discovery that I'm very proud of it.
Oh, it's just incredible to see. I was so jealous here got this look with you.
We discovered now a big part of the city on the east. And also, we are starting in September to go to the west. For sure, we'll discover the name of Akhenaten and his son Tutankhamun.
And we also know just last week, your team revealed another remarkable find. This is this tomb with a mysterious 14-foot false door, essentially a door to nowhere. What do we know about this?
You know, it's a false door. And this false door means it's not a real door. Behind it is a burial chamber. We did not open it yet. False door contains the name of this person as a prince, the son of Osirkaf of Dynasty 5. But what's really unique in this tomb is the discovery of the father of Zoser. Zoser is the one who built the Step Pyramid, the oldest pyramid in Egypt. He's holding Zoser. And Zoser, his queen, beside him, holding a girl. And beside them, in the other side, two girls in this side and two girls in the other side. And in front of them, a black granite statue about 3 feet high. Incredible statue. I really have never seen anything like this found in Egypt before. This is unique.
You know, you are about to embark on a lecture tour across the U.S., bringing so many of these discoveries to audiences here. What do you think it is about Egyptian culture that just continues to fascinate people?
You know, I want to tell you, first of all, I'm giving 33 lectures in 30 cities in America and 3 in Canada. If you ask this child that is wearing my hat and you tell her Egypt, she will tell you mummies, because mummies has secrets. And the Great Pyramid of Khufu, that still people wonder how it was built. The Sphinx, that contains secrets. And finally, the Golden King, Tutankhamun. Those are inscribed in the hearts of people everywhere. And that's why Egypt fascinates people and still will capture the hearts of people, because we almost every year we make a discovery. You know, I'm going to talk in the States in my lecture tour about things that I did not announce it. Major important discoveries that I did not talk about it. Inside the Great Pyramid of Khufu, we found major things. We also discovered great things in the shadow of the Step Pyramid. Yeah. Also, tombs in Luxor. And I'm searching now for the tomb of Queen Nefertiti in the Valley of the Kings.
You know, Dr. Zahi Hawass, we could talk to you probably all day. We are out of time right now.
I'm coming to a lecture. I want this to last all morning.
I will invite you. Where are you based?
We're here in New York.
Oh, then I can send me an email and I'll send you tickets as my guest, the two of you.
Okay, I'm so doing that.
I'm glad we're doing this on television right now, too. Doctor, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Great to talk with you.
All right, coming up, a ringing endorsement.
After the break, the bell tower musician who's made a career lighting up the eyes and ears of folks in one Maryland city, all thanks to some key support. We'll explain next.
Finally this hour, a musician in Maryland is striking just the right chord. An unexpected gift unlocked a lifelong career that he never saw coming. NBC News Now anchor Hallie Jackson has the story.
To get to this Maryland town's most musical perch takes 50 steps up a winding staircase and a lifetime of training. Wow. Fortunately for the folks in Frederick, John Woodman's a pro.
Carillon is an instrument of bells, played from a keyboard of batons and pedals.
Do you always play in socks?
I always play in socks.
For 33 years, Woodman has been Frederick's city carillioner. A seasoned organist and former public school teacher, performing free concerts every single Sunday. A job he didn't just earn, he inherited.
About 2 years after we moved to town, I found a manila envelope with my name misspelled on it, and inside the envelope was a brass key.
The key from Frederick's prior carillioner, who'd heard him play just once, opened the door, literally.
What a way to get a job.
Yeah, it was bestowed upon me.
The playlist, everything from classical to classic rock.
You played Billy Joel on this thing?
Oh, I did today, yeah.
These days, only about 180 of these instruments operate in the U.S. So for these Marylanders to hear ringing regularly is a treat. And although it's an instrument anyone can learn, really, anyone.
You too can be a carillioner.
It just sounds better in the hands and feet of a pro.
I hope people find something that they like, or maybe something familiar, or maybe something romantic. If it makes people happy, that's good.
And John says to celebrate his 33rd year, he's looking forward to traveling back to Belgium this summer, where he first learned to play. Back to you.
I wonder if they have more of those in Belgium. Thank you, Hallie.
Really?
All right, that's going to do it for this hour of Morning News Now.
Don't go anywhere, though. The news continues right now.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.